it's safe to say that the referee is not the most popular man in Reading. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video here on Reading FC Away Days. I'm James, and today we're going to be sitting down and talking to you guys about Reading's 1-1 draw at home to Hull. Now, in this game, it's safe to say that the referee is not the most popular man in Reading. Really was daylight robbery in my eyes. We'll get onto that a little bit later. But we've got the first half to talk about first. Now, for me personally, I was actually at work up until the 30th minute, left and managed to make it just in time for the second half. So actually ended up missing Reading's goal. Now, I've gone back and watched the highlight, luckily, and I've been able to see the first half highlights. Luckily, my friend BBC Sport is also here to assist me in this one. Obviously, Tom Holmes was able to open his account for Reading, but before that, we were able to see a few different highlights. Reading were, safe to say, the dominant team in this game. The first half, it looked like Reading really should have been ahead and much more quicker. Shots from, I think it was Alan Halilovic was saved, Tom Bashiru was saved, and Reading really did control the tempo of the game. It seemed Reading had a lot of possession, Reading had a lot of shots, and by the time that Tom Holmes was able to put it 1-0, I think the shot differential was like 6-1 on target. Tom Holmes, though, was able to produce a beautiful bit of magic. A corner ball came in, Reading headed it across goal. I think it was Andy Carroll headed it across goal, and Tom Holmes ended up scoring an overhead kick. Now, how about that for your first goal for a Reading fan? Now, it was brilliant to see him score an overhead kick, just to see him score really for his boyhood club. And it's safe to say that's going to be a memory that will live long for him, and it's going to live long for Reading fans as well. Seeing a hometown boy score is absolutely fantastic. And I always felt a bit sorry for Tom Holmes because he came around the same time as Tom McIntyre, and absolutely everyone wanted Tom McIntyre to start, and everyone kind of threw Tom Holmes away side. Now, McIntyre seems to get injured quite a lot, and Tom Holmes is arguably one of Reading's better centre-backs. It's interesting to see how that goes. I personally still think if they both get contracts at the club, they're going to be the centre-back pairing for the future for Reading, but it's going to be time will tell with that one, especially with Liam Moore being at the club, Scott Dan, Michael Morrison still there as well, but again, safe to see what happens with them contracts. But yeah, I can see Tom Holmes and Tom McIntyre as the future of Reading Football Club, and it was great to see Tom Holmes score. Like I said, I thought he played really well, and I thought Reading played well in general. Going into the second half, really was a bit of a dull game before Hull ended up getting that goal, which was, again, came out of nowhere. Reading were really unlucky. Luke Southwood ended up kind of tipping it into his own net. He kind of saved it, he kind of didn't. He kind of pushed it into the back of the net. I don't know if the ball got a bobble or what, but yeah, it was right in front of the 1871 side, and we were able to see it go in the back of the net, and it's horrible, man. Mistakes happen at the end of the day. Listen, if this was another goalkeeper, I probably would have been ridiculing him, but it's the Reading's keeper, it's Luke Southwood, he's an academy boy. You don't want to do that, because at the end of the day, you want to keep the academy going strong, and I don't want to belittle any of them. Reading also made a sub at half-time. Andy Yeardom went off. I don't know if he went off injured, but he did go off. He went off for Dejan Tetek. I'm really happy to see Tetek back. I think he fitted in really well right back against Middlesbrough when we got that 1-0 win. And yeah, I'm really happy to see him back in the squad. I think he's more of a midfielder though, but again, midfield is probably where Reading's the strongest. So it'd be interesting to see where he's going to end up fitting into come, well, really more time for him to develop. Reading's lineup though, never really went into that one. Might as well go into that now. We ended up playing Southwood in goal. We got a back four of Yeardom, Barber as the two wing backs, and two centre backs with Tom Holmes and Scott Dan. We had Josh Lawrence sitting in deep as Alan Halilovic, Danny Drinkwater, Swift, and Deli Bashiru were in the midfield, and we had Andy Carroll up top on his own. On the bench, we ended up bringing on Tetek. Femi Aziz came on straight after the whole goal, and I think that was it actually. That was all the subs we ended up making, which is again a trait of Paunovic's, which he doesn't do too great. But moving on probably to the most noteworthy topic of the game was the referee. So it's safe to say the ref didn't really have a great game. Listen, when you miss a penalty, it's understandable, but when you miss two clear-cut penalties, maybe you've got to think about getting another job, mate, because at the end of the day, what the hell are you thinking? John Swift's gone through, he's in the penalty box. Maybe it was a case of it was outside the box, so he didn't want to give it, but at the same time, it's still a foul, so I don't know why you haven't given it. But he's been absolutely wiped out, and, you know, he's just not given anything. whole stadium thought it was a penalty. All the staff, I think even Hull fans knew it was a penalty at the end of the day. And the referee's given nothing. Andy Carroll had a few shots after that. He had a shot that went over. Dejan Tetek set up Deli Bashiru, and he had a shot that ended up going straight into the keeper's hands. But we ended up having a second penalty not given our way as the ball came in and Andy Carroll got his head to it. As he's got his head to it, the Hull defender raises his hand, hits his hand, and the referee again gives absolutely nothing. Now it's also on the linesman, it's on the fourth official, it's on the assistant referee, it's on all of them as well, because they've all seen the game, they're all seeing what's going on as well. But the referee was in a position where he could easily spot that, and he hasn't. And the Hull defender has literally turned around and raised his hand up at the same time. The ball's hit his hand and the referee has given nothing. That's a penalty. Maybe you could make a case the referee maybe didn't want to give the first one. I think the first one was a foul. He's leaned into John Swift and he's also tripped him. He didn't win the ball. John Swift's got it past him. He's tripped John Swift. I could see why you could make a case potentially why that's not a penalty. But the second one is a dead cert penalty. I don't know if the referee thinks the defender's too close, so he was unable to move his hands, but the player's raised his hands. And when you raise your hand, you're in a position where if that hits you, that's a penalty. And he's hit him, and it's a penalty. Referee's got it completely wrong. Everyone was fuming. The referee got the most abuse I've seen from a referee in a very long time at the Select Car Leasing. Yeah, look, we should have won that game. Late on as well, Andy Carroll was off target again, having another shot. It just went wide, or just went over the bar. A lot of them happened today. And Femi Aziz had a curling shot just go wide as well, which I thought was unlucky not to go in the back of the net again. Just one of them curlers. If it went in, everyone would have been happy, but it's one of them curling shots that just goes wide. But yeah, at the end of the day, Reading ended up drawing this game. We now sit in 20th place, so we've gone above Cardiff, I think we have now. So we're 21 points now, sitting 12 points away from them playoff places, which looks so far away, which I'm not even going to focus on now. Let's just focus on 12th for now. So Reading currently are 7 points behind 12th, who are Luton, who is the next home game. But we got West Brom coming up next, which is going to be a difficult one. But yeah, we ended up drawing this game 1-1. Thought we should have won it personally, and thought we were robbed not to, because we dominated the game. Looking at the stats, if I have a look now, Reading had 56% possession, 19 shots, 7 on target. Hull had 2 on target. Look, we should have won the game. Reading ended up committing more fouls than Hull in this game. That just goes to show you how much the referee knew about this game. He's a fool, stupid, and needs to go and find himself another job. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you're the referee, get off. I don't want to see you no more. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you've all enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.